In this video, we're going to look at how you explore results of an analysis graphically. The model I've set up is a concrete bending section supported by a wall on one end, 2 point supports on another, and a beam spanning or stiffeners. In addition, I have a load point at the center with a concentrated load applied. When you look over in the project status, you'll see a section called FAA Results. As soon as this section is checked and it says analysis done and checks are okay, you'll know that when you go to the Analysis Results tab, you'll have results to view. So let's look at these results. First off, to note, in the result filter you have a lot of options. One option is to display the structure displaced, and which is currently set. If I unclick that, you'll notice the structure is undisformed. So you can control whether you're showing the deformed shape or not. In addition, you can control what's shown in the view, whether you're going to show your beams or line stiffeners, your line supports, your slab itself, or your point supports. Let's start and look at the slab first. The slab is shown with colors at the moment, and if we look over under the Concrete Results section, we see that we have a result type set to DZ local. So I'm showing the local Z displacements as a contour legend. I can also show plate results such as MX global, MY global, shear X global, and shear Y global. Sign convention on plates is defined in our documentation, but basically MX global means it's the moment that will produce bending stresses parallel to the global x-axis. So really it's a moment about the global y-axis. So note that plate results are defined that way. So we can change what particular things we're showing. Also, we're showing a legend, in this case MX global, and to point out how the legend works, it's showing the values in their various colors, and I can actually drag the perimeters here of the legend and actually narrow down the band in which I'm showing. So now I'm currently showing moments between about minus 1.8 inch kips per inch down to plus 2.18. Anything outside that band is shown gray, as you see in the view. So all of the legends can be scrolled and moved that way. In addition, you can select them and move them to different parts of view if you like. Legends also have the abilities to show color bands. So if I click that in the results filter, we'll see that now instead of a nice color contour, I'm seeing different bands of stresses rather than a nice contour. And I can change the number of bands over here in the filter. And let's say add more bands. I'll switch that to 5, and I got 5 different color bands. So another way to control how those values are viewed. Let's now look at the beam results. I have one beam or line stiffener here on the end, and it too is shown in colors. And if we look over in the inspector, we're currently showing the beam bending moment, MZ. As we see, it's shown down here in the bottom, and we can see that it's varying between a minus 166 inch kips to 75.8 inch kips, positive in the middle. So we're seeing the beam moment legend shown down here at the bottom. If we look over in the inspector, we can also change it to be color bands, and as we did with the slab, we can show color band values rather than a contour. Other beam result types that are available here we can see in the inspector by dropping down the combination box, and we can look at how the shear force is varying. We can look at how the displacement is varied. In addition, if we want to look at the torsion in the beam, we can display that as well. The final thing to show on this view is our support point reactions. So we have point supports at these two column locations, and currently they're shown in text values, and we can turn those text values on and off in the filter by going over to the point support values and click on show values and uncheck it. So point support results can be shown as text values. In addition, we currently are not showing line support results. We have this wall, and those can be turned on as well by clicking on label forces and label moments, and we'll see they're displayed in the graphical view as well. Another thing we can look at is flyby information. If I select that down here in the window options, As I move my mouse around, I'll get plate results. If I'm over a line support, I'll get line support results. If I'm over a point support, I'll get point support results, and so on. So that's how I'm able to display values in a flyby tip. The final thing to show is the beam graph. If your structure has line supports and you have beam results, you can switch over to the beam graph and you'll see a display shape for the beam, a shear force diagram for the beam, and lastly a moment for the beam. You can display or control what's displayed over here in the filter by selecting what plots are available. Not used, we can switch that to torsion, and now we'll get 4 plots along here, including the torsional view.